Hi everyone, it's Alex from Self Empowered Hearts, and I wanted to talk to you about basically my day, because I started off the day a little bit in a head funk, and I just wanted to share what I did basically to get out of it, because I think that it can happen to all of us and it can get very frustrating and annoying. And so for me it was, I'm basically developing an e-course, and I was getting a little bit frustrated. I was like, I've got the outline done, I don't know, what the content, how to implement it, where to go from there. So I thought, right, this morning I was like, okay, let's look at this and see how I can get out of it. So normally I would just go onto my laptop and then trying to to get ideas just by sitting there, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do something different, and I'm so glad I did. So I ended up reading, and I was reading this book from Denise Duffield Thomas, and Lucky Bitch. You probably have heard of it. And yeah, I got 25% into it already, like from other days, but I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to read to the end. And there was moments when I was thinking, nah, I'm not going to get to the end of this, or let's get on with doing some work and I was like, no, I'm not going to put it off. So I decided that I'm going to read to the end of it, and I'm so glad I did. And the content's amazing. If you get a chance to read it, it's amazing. And I just came away from it feeling really inspired, and just felt that I just wanted to put action, because I just felt that sometimes you can just read amazing books and then you just don't put any action to it. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to put some action to it, because I was just getting so frustrated with where I was. And so what I did was, I had this voice in me that was saying, right, okay, just go out, go and have some lunch, and go to the beach. And because we were in Australia, and I thought, well, yes, rather than sitting down and bang my head against the laptop, and not physically, but like that's how I feel mentally, that just get out. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do it. But there was something that was holding me back a little bit. I realised that I've not done that for a while. Like, I haven't gone out on my own. Like, with me and Ryan, partner, we've been travelling and we've done a lot of things together. And I realised that because he's not here, he's at work at the moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be like doing something that's like not what we've been doing for the last under a year. And so I thought, okay, you need to change it up, Alex. I had a little talk to myself. And so yeah, so I decided to go, and I went and had lunch. And as soon as I sat down, I ordered my food, because I love my food. So I was like, yeah, get a good lunch down me. And these ideas were coming to me, and I just thought, oh, I just needed to be in another environment, another space. And it was just coming to me. I was just like, I was so happy how I was able to get these ideas that I've been hoping for. and I just thought, right, I just need to change it up. So, and then afterwards I went to the beach, and then I just wrote out this blog that I'm typing up now to you. And I just thought, yeah, this is what I need to share. So I will share it in the blog about what I've done, but I'll go through some of the tips. I'll go, because I wrote it all out. Because normally I just type it onto the computer, but I thought, nah, I'm going to do something different. So my 3 tips to overcome a head funk, I call it. So that could be like have motivation, low of energy, inspiration, or enthusiasm. So whatever you feel. And what I will say to you is that everything is different for everyone, that you need to find what works best for you. But these 3 tips that I will share with you is just to kind of experiment with what you find good for you, but also put it to into what was best for you. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So first one is do the opposite to what you're currently doing. So for me, like this morning, I was going to be inside, and I was going to be staying you know, at home. But I thought, do you know what, I'm going to get out. So, and I went outside, and you know, I went to the beach and everything like that, and that was just brilliant. So, you know, you could, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to go out. I mean, an example I've put here is if you're overthinking, meditate, so you're quieting the mind. So it's, you know, do the opposite. It's taking action on something that you're currently doing that's not working out, and finding another way. And it could be it's the opposite. You may not have to go the full opposite, but look at the ways that you can do it, that you're not currently in the same situation, because obviously what's working for you, what's not working for you now, is not going to help you move forward. So it's just finding those ways. So I always think, oh, if you look at the opposite and then experiment with that. If you're not motivated, choose something that lights you up and excites you, and then move into that energy. So, you know, for me, I was saying to you, I love my food, and I just wanted to have it that I was being treating myself, and I was ending up, you know, rather than it being that I was, you know, cooking my own lunch, I was ending up having it done for me, and it was lovely, you know. And I was around people because I love people, because I just felt like, you know, I'm on my own here, and you know, I just needed to change up my environment. So, you know, and that excites me, is food. If anyone knows me, if I have a plate of food, something, I get excited. It's quite funny. And obviously the beach as well, like when I was, you know, to see the tide was up, so I wasn't able to get down to the beach, but I was sat by there and I was just writing. It was just beautiful that I was in that different energy space. I wasn't in that feeling of, oh, I can't move forward. I felt that, I think with the environment, you know, the water coming crashing in, you know, onto the sand, and you know, there's quite a lot of surfers trying to get their wave, and it was just nice, just a different scenery. And then the third tip is, are you focusing on the problem or the solution? So we can really concentrate on the problem. And so obviously I was concentrating on the problem of, you know, of feeling stuck, and like I didn't, you know, I feel like, you know, that I was getting a bit overwhelmed of, I can't, you know, I can't get any inspired thoughts or move forward. And you know, I could have continued in that, and you know, that's where you can end up. And it has happened to me in the past, but I think I'm aware of it now, that I'm able to stop myself going into that downward spiral. And I catch myself, and sometimes is that I do catch myself going a bit too far, but then I think, okay, I've got tools and techniques to get myself out. So it's working on finding, you know, looking into finding a solution. And so to find a solution, I would say, is to go with number one and number two. So you're looking at the opposite, looking at the different options to you, and also then going into a space where you feel motivated and inspired, because when you're in that space, that's when you're able to feel that you're able to move forward, rather than it being that you're stuck, you know, in that same space, and you feel that, you know, you're not getting anywhere. So I really hope this serves you. Normally I'm outside, but it's quite windy, so I'm in the annex because we're staying in a caravan at the moment. And so yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting this vlog out to you. I'm just typing it out to you now, but yes, head over to selfempoweredhearts.com and you can see other blogs that I've done, how to overcome other issues, and also get your free gift there as well. That's free audios that I have, the meditation audios to help you ground in and connect into your heart as well. I always find they're really, really helpful as well, just to have someone else telling you things rather than you having to necessarily think for yourself in some ways, just to get yourself out if you're really, really stuck. So anyway, I'll leave you now and send you lots of love. Bye bye now.